Ladies and gentlemen, in 1996, Armani changed the world of perfumery when they released this aquatic, ozonic, citrus aromatic fragrance called Acqua di Gio. This particular fragrance, to this day, is one of the top-selling fragrances for men worldwide. In today's video, we're going to talk about the newest iteration of this fragrance, of course, Acqua di Gio Elixir 2025. If you want to know all about this fragrance, stick around. The video's up next. Welcome back to another video. Max Forti here. If you do love to make a great and lasting impression, you should know by now that smelling good is a great way to start. Today we're going to talk about, of course, the newest flanker, to be exact, the 14th iteration in the world of Giorgio Armani Acqua di Gio collection. Of course, this is the 14th iteration, 14th flanker of Acqua di Gio. Of course, as every brand in the world today, they have an elixir, and of course, Armani wouldn't be left off, having their own elixir. Acqua di Gio, now Armani is giving us a flanker release. This comes in a 50 ml, as you see here, and it retails for about $160 USD. It's slowly making its way into the US. I actually had to get this from Europe. It's not cheap, but I believe when it hits markets, in the US, when it hits shelves here in the US, it's going to retail for $160, $160 to $180 USD, give or take. And it only comes in one size, the 1.6 50 ml that you see here. Very minimalist case. It's going to have the black motif with the silver appointments, Acqua di Gio Elixir, all the information here in the back, ingredients, so on and so forth, and of course a batch code at the bottom of the box, which should of course match the actual bottle. Let's crack this open and take it for a test drive. I'm dying to try this one. When it comes to elixirs, I have to be honest with you, my favorite thus far is the Dior Elixir Sauvage. That is definitely my favorite. Now, looking at the presentation here, it's very similar, of course, to the original. It's got the same motif, sort of. It's a little bit shorter. Of course, it's a 50 ml, supposedly higher concentration of the fragrance. Hopefully, it's going to retain some of the DNA and make it darker, just like Dior Sauvage did with their elixir. It says Acqua di Gio Elixir, Giorgio Armani at the bottom. It's got this beautiful lip. The bottle is painted from within, which is quite nice. The cap is magnetic, but it is rather a small bottle. Of course, your batch code right here, which should match the box as well. Sprayers, it's got the Giorgio Armani logo right here, the GA, and sprayers are absolutely insane. Beast mode on this one. Now let's take it for a test drive. What I'm going to do though, I will do two things. Number one, I'm going to spray a tester strip, and number two, I will actually spray the back of my hand so I can get a full understanding of this fragrance, a little bit of development. As you know, I usually pause the video for 15-20 minutes so I can see if there's any kind of development, if it's more of a linear scent. So here is the tester strip, and here is the back of my hand. Okay, interesting. Not what I was expecting off the rip here. This is actually opening up rather light, citrus, aromatic, but also slightly floral. I was not expecting this. I was thinking that based on the elixirs that I've tried, this was going to be darker. Okay, it's starting to change a little bit on the blotter. Not much though. Let me see on my hand. Okay, it's definitely an Acqua di Gio. It's going to have that DNA that we've come accustomed to, the aquatic, ozonic, citrus, fresh, aromatic. It's definitely going to be front and center here. So if you're familiar with Acqua di Gios, if you spray this on someone's hand and you give them a blotter and their eyes are closed and they smell this right off the rip, they're going to be like, okay, this is a citrus aromatic slash aquatic ozonic kind of a fragrance. It's going to have that, been there, done that, from the 90s up until now. It's a very known scent profile. That's not going to change here. However, it's starting to change a little bit and become a little greener and slightly. That floral aspect I talked about is definitely present here. I'm gonna look at the notes very soon. I believe there's violet leaf here. So there is that floral aspect, but there's also a more mature green, clary sage slash lavender kind of a feel here that's very known. And of course, the nose is 𝗷𝗵𝗆, which is the creator of all Acqua di Gios. So that DNA is definitely present here, with the only two aspects that I'm getting here. I wish there was a resinous, darker, incensey aspect here, but there isn't. It is rather very pleasant. It is probably the most mature right now from the Acqua di Gio line, because it has that green, not so much fougere, but there is a lavender here that's quite clean and green, and there is the clary sage kind of inflection here that's also green and aromatic. So it is, quote unquote, the most mature of all the Acqua di Gios up to this point, or whatever's in the market or in the counter today when this hits shelves, but it's also very pleasant, easy to wear. It's not going to deviate too much from the actual original scent profile. And looking at the notes here, it talks about bergamot, nutmeg, and green mandarin up top. So you do have, of course, the citrus aromatic components here. Definitely tons of citruses. I would go as far as saying that there's even more than what they're saying here. I think there's actually more citrus notes. The nutmeg, lends a little bit of a spicy kind of a, undertone, but it's not heavily spicy whatsoever. The heart, of course, watery notes and violet leaf. There's that floral inflection that I talked about, and that floral inflection is actually present, so far throughout the whole life of the fragrance. It's been about, 10, 15 minutes, close to 15 minutes right now, since I've been filming this video. And of course, on the blotter, it's going to be that linear kind of a situation where it's going to be very pleasant. If you do smell it on a store, just on the paper alone, you're going to be inclined to buy the bottle. So I would say, of course, as always, spray your skin. Your skin is a true test to make sure it works with your body chemistry, make sure you like it. So there is a development here. The aquatic notes are coming through. That violet leaf actually gives the scent, believe it or not, a slightly similar undertone to Fahrenheit. Very slight, not like up front and center gasoline, but you do have that slightly floral violet leaf, Fahrenheit kind of inflection here. And I go as far as saying, here's the deal. If you want to know exactly what this smells like, if you remember, and this is what the fragrance reminds me of. So of course it's got nuances of the original. Acqua di Gio meets, if you remember this, it's discontinued. This is going to be very much similar to the Fahrenheit from Dior Acqua that's long discontinued. So this one here, as it gets to the heart, into the dry down, that violet leaf really gets, stronger, and there is a leathery inflection also in the notes that comes through, giving that leather violet leaf kind of a situation, aromatic / Fahrenheit Acqua vibe. So if you did miss that fragrance because it's been long discontinued, in fact, there's a pretty penny out there, this would be a great alternative for that fragrance. So if you missed that, definitely go this way because you're going to be loving it. It's going to be the same kind of a fragrance, like they could be twin brothers, especially from the heart into the dry down. There's patchouli, there's vetiver, there is labdanum, there's slightly resinous kind of a, dry down peeking through, but it's not really a resinous, smoky, or dark fragrance. Even though, like I said, because of that Fahrenheit comparison, it's mostly like the Fahrenheit Acqua that was released years ago and long discontinued. It's not really the dark facets of the gasoline petroleum vibe that you get with the original, the OG Fahrenheit. Quite nice, not a mind-blowing or extremely great release. I was expecting more of this one, to be quite honest with you, but on the first impression here, it's nice, especially because it reminds me of something that's been discontinued that I really enjoyed. So for that, it gets points, but for the originality aspect, not much going on here as far as original kind of a scent profile. It's, a little bit more of the same, if I could be quite honest and transparent with you. As far as performance goes, I think this will be a very solid performing type of fragrance, giving me, from what I'm understanding here, the vibe and the scent profile, I'm gonna think 8+, so average to above average on skin. If you do spray your clothes, obviously you're gonna get better performance, longer, longevity here, and of course a nice scent bubble. This one will give you a nice scent bubble. It's kind of really a good performing fragrance. It's giving me the vibe that it will be 8+. Spraying your clothes, I'm talking 9 to 10, and a great scent, scent bubble and trail. I think it's gonna be good for performance. Perhaps not beast mode, but really above average, to be quite honest. Who would wear this? Best times to wear. Who would like this fragrance? Anybody that originally loves the Acqua di Gio family will like this because it's really staying the same wheelhouse and family. It's not going to deviate much. So if you did like that, you're going to like this one. There's no two ways about it. If you did miss, the Fahrenheit Acqua that was long discontinued, I think discontinued in 2015, if I'm not mistaken, you're going to love this one because it's really close to that. So good news there if you missed that fragrance. And I think it's a little bit more mature from everything that's out there. If you want to go youthful, vibe, go Profondo line. That's going to be youthful, more playful, sweeter. This one here, because of those green, leathery, Fahrenheit kind of comparisons, it's going to be probably, like I said, the most mature Acqua di Gio in the counter today. So I'd say 25 and up to appreciate this. If you have a seasoned nose, you'll like this one. Best times to wear. This is signature scent, kind of a fragrance, something that you can wear anytime, anywhere. If you do like the scent profile, you want to, up your style, up your game, it's going to definitely get you smelling great. There's no questions about that. It smells good. The performance seems like it's going to be quite nice. Of course, I'm going to go for a full wearing today. But overall, a nice release, quite good. Not great, not mind-blowing, but gets a thumbs up. It's a good release for 2025 to kick things off in 2025. Of course, everyone's going to have their elixir and Armani. Acqua di Gio is not going to be, missing out on that cash cow type of a deal, right? So let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on the new Acqua di Gio Elixir? Do you think it's just a cash grab? Do you think it's worth having in your collection? I'd love to read your comments below. Also, let me know which one is your favorite Acqua di Gio from the 14 flankers that they've had up to this point is your favorite overall. Please drop it down below. Of course, I'm going to rock this today. You know, overall, it smells good. It's going to be a little darker than the original Acqua di Gio, going into that leathery violet leaf, heavy vetiver, a little dark patchouli vibe here. Overall, a good smelling fragrance, a nice release. Not great, but nice. Again, today I'm going to get a full wearing here, and it looks like it's going to perform quite well. So comment down below, let me know what you think about this one. And of course, right now, by the way, you could try this before you buy it. Get yourself a decant from perfume.com using my code MAX15. It's available in stock now, so you can actually get yourself a decant, get a full day wearing, make sure you love it. When you guys are ready to commit to a full bottle, you know you like it, then you can pull the trigger and fetch up the big dough. Guys, thanks so much for your support. If you do enjoy the channel, leave a like, subscribe for more, hit the bell so you get these videos straight into your feed. And of course, I will see you right back here with another video very soon. Take care.